Welcome home, family and fellow citizens of the African Order. I'm here with another video, and the topic of this discussion is an update on the Ahmad Aubrey trial. Well, we know the trial is over, but the saga is continuing. Now they've arrested the state prosecutor. She turned herself in, and they're charging her with obstruction of justice, which is a misdemeanor, and they're threatening to take her law license away, so you'll never be able to practice law again. And the reason why they're doing this is when these three idiots were killing Ahmad Aubrey, the father, who was a police officer, he called the prosecutor and told her that his son had killed a man, and we're in a little bit of a pickle. And he asked for instructions on what to do. Now, other officers had come to the scene. She told them to go home, clean your clothes, and leave the scene. Then she told the officers that's there not to arrest him. There were several things wrong with this. Number one, here you have a police officer shooting and killing an unarmed man just for jogging through the neighborhood and looking into a house under construction. He was unarmed, not a threat. You kill him, then you describe the situation as a pickle. It's a small little problem. My son killed a black guy. How do I, clean this stuff up? You had this being reported to the state prosecutor, who's sworn to uphold justice. And she tells you to do everything that's unjust. You have police officers there on the scene. She tells them to stand down, don't arrest them. And they allowed the three prime suspects just to saute off, just go off. And then she further delayed the investigation 3 months. If it wasn't for the persistent effort of the mother and outcry from the community, she would have never brought this case to trial. So it's not just these idiots that killed Ahmad Aubrey. You have a whole corrupt system, and you have incompetent police officers. For you to take an order to go against your sworn duty, and you obey it, you don't look at the ramifications of your actions. Now everybody in the community know that your duty is not as paramount as you say it is. If she could tell you to let three prime suspects of a murder walk away, what has she done before? This is why a lot of times when black people call the police, they have to call the police on the police, because the corruption is so prevalent. You can't trust any of them. And I don't see why, for the life of me, why Negroes are still hanging in there, fostering hope that there's going to be some type of revelation, and blacks and whites are going to be able to live with peace and harmony amongst each other. Even though whites have all the ownership and control over all the governing bodies, economic bodies, all the legal entities, educational entities, we don't own or control nothing. And you think we're going to live in peace and harmony with these people? If we do, it's just for the time being. Because these people are so corrupt they can't stay on the right path for long because it's not natural to them. They're not, slavery ended 150 something years ago. If their intention was for us to live a life equal to them, wouldn't we have our own business and industries by now? At least some area that we own and control. And today, 156 years beyond slavery, we own nothing. And you see the corruption, and this is blatant. This ain't nothing that you're trying to obscure, trying to hide. Here you have a judge um, doing the Kyle Rittenhouse case, using all type of bigotry remarks towards Asians right on TV, right during the trial. They're not hiding their hatred. Where do you go to shelter and protect yourself long enough that you can feel safe and secure, so that something that your children can have access to when they get out into the world? There is none. We have to create this ourselves. And the biggest step that we can do to get us on the path to doing this is just listening. And you ain't got to listen to me. Just listen to yourself. Imagine blacks working, being paid fairly, being employed equally, living a decent, respectable quality of life that generation after generation of blacks have enjoyed for 30, 40, 100 years, 200 years. Peace and harmony. What do you tell yourself? Don't listen to me. Listen to yourself. What do you tell yourself when you imagine blacks living like this, being educated the same equal opportunities to jobs, to health? Can you imagine white people running this? Can you see white people governing over a economic structure, an economic philosophy that blacks, whites, Asians, Chaldeans, Arabs, everybody all had equal access to the jobs, education, businesses? Everybody had a decent quality of life. Can you see white people governing over this? How much different would that be as opposed to right now? If it was any way possible that whites would do that, wouldn't we have it right now? Do you see how far from that we are right now today? The only way we're going to get to this is if we construct this ourselves. Will we make our essential needs our priority? When we pledge to ourselves what we're going to do for our people, because these people put their hands on the Bible and they swear to protect and serve and don't. They put their hands on the Bible and swear to tell the truth in the court of law, and they lie. There isn't any area that white people control and you can trust that they will treat your people just as fairly as they would treat their own. The only environment that this will even come close to happening is if we create it for ourselves. Because there's no way on earth black people build their own businesses and industries and we treat our people worse or as bad as white treat us in theirs. It's impossible. You wouldn't open up a business right next to or across the street from an existing business and sell your products and services at 25, 30% higher than the existing. If anything, you're going to either sell it equal to across the street because you don't want to give these people no motivation to go over there, or lower. Black people, it is time for us to stop getting in our own way. Stop making excuses for us not building our own. I'm listening to this girl on Instagram, and she's talking about when you go to celebrate Thanksgiving today, don't talk about politics. Don't talk about the vaccine, the jab. Don't talk about anything. Just go and eat and enjoy your family. Take a day off and blah blah blah. We cannot take a day off. The liberation of our people, the restoration of our people, cannot take days off. Because if we take Thanksgiving off, then we'll take Christmas off. Then we'll take New Year's off. Then we'll take whatever holidays come. We'll be taking off. And there's no days that whites have taken off to get and keep us under control. They don't give us no breaks. This is why you have negativity on TV, in the movies, in the music, in school. Anywhere that blacks be, it's a negative impact. It's a negative imagery. They don't take days off when you're trying to oppress a people. And we cannot take days off when we're trying to liberate our people. I'm going to end this message here. And if you like this content, please share it. And if you like this message, please consider subscribing to this channel. And with this video, as with all my videos, it is for the complete liberation of my people. And I'll see you in my next message. Ashe.